would you trade a first round pick and Nolan Smith for Micah Parsons?
Is that a real question? I with Nolan Smith, but right, come on, Micah Parsons. I trade my damn self. Listen, I'm a realist.
Yeah.
When they ask me
Thank you.
trades about basketball and they said, "Would you trade you for X, Y, and Z?" If it's working or if that player is that caliber, you damn right I'm going to trade him. There's no question.
Yo, as a professional athlete, I'm very disappointed. I don't know if it's Markeith or Marquise, whichever one. I'll put it below in this. I'll put it somewhere in this video. What he's saying makes absolutely no sense, and he sounds like your everyday fan on the couch. No successful sports team. And listen, I'm going to go back to his sport. That's why the NBA is trash the way it is now, because they think to make their team better, well, I'm just going to stack a bunch of fucking superstars together and hope that something happens. I mean, we saw what happened when Steve Nash was coaching and they had Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant on the same team, and Joey. It was a disaster. The NBA is going down because instead of teams looking to build and get guys that are hustle players, they want all of these freaking egos all on one team. All of these players that need the ball, all of these players that will be first options on other teams playing together. It just makes no sense to me. I get it. You're right. Micah Parsons as of now, and honestly, it's not even really fair to Nolan Smith because he hasn't played long enough, right? But he just got finished his second year. So he's going into his third year. He was his first time last year was his first year getting meaningful snaps, right? And then, because I think the first year in 23, he was basically on special teams the whole time. We had a bunch of defensive coordinators that didn't know shit about properly coaching the defense. So that was a disaster. That doesn't really count. So he had his first full year last year. He did really, really well over time. Some of us kind of written him off, but he did really well over time. He played big in that Super Bowl, being injured, and he looked like he's poised. I think he's injured right now for training camp, but I think he'll be fine. I think he's poised to have a phenomenal All-Pro year. That's just my opinion. But here's the thing, right? To have a great and successful sports team, sports organization, however you want to call it, not every damn guy got to be a superstar. Because then there's so many egos at play here, and it's never going to mesh, right? That's why when people talk about Kevin Durant, I think people overhate him because everybody's been trying to do what Kevin Durant has done with Golden State and trying to recreate the magic that they had, and it just hasn't been the same. I even made a video about it a long time ago, going into detail, but just giving like a little brief synopsis of it. Kevin Durant, Curry, Clay, Draymond, all of those guys are willing to put aside each other's ego. All those guys are willing to put aside their ego for the good of the team. Also, here's another thing too. The whole purpose of you drafting guys is for you to develop. It's not to say, oh, if you don't pan out in year one, you don't pan out in year two, you're garbage. No. Great football teams let their guys develop. They know how to develop their guys. They're patient with their guys. So many disasters happen in these organizations because they're impatient with the players and their development. They're either not being trained properly or they're thrown to the wolves way too fast. And that's how you get a bunch of busts on your team, because you're not putting them in position to succeed. You're simply basically saying, if you don't have it right now, you're no good. And that's not a good mentality to have. And that's what a lot of these sorry ass NFL organizations are. They're like, the owners and the GM and the way the coaches are, they have a mindset of you either got it right now or you don't, right? And low-key, Josh Rosen's career, even though some of it was self-inflicted because, he didn't play well to help to aid his case. It's part of the reason why Josh Rosen unfortunately got his career completely fucked over, because Arizona wanted a right now thing. That's why they drafted Kyler Murray, right? And some of you are going to say that Kyler Murray is a way better player. We're not here for that discussion. But bottom line is, you got to have coaches that are willing to be patient and develop guys. Yes, I understand this is the pros, but it is what it is. But you got Nolan Smith, who has developed into an all-pro caliber player. He's developed into an all-pro caliber player, to be honest with you. And to sit up there and say, well, fuck you for developing, fuck all your efforts, I'm going to throw you away for somebody with name value. That's not how you build a winning organization. So as a professional athlete, I'm very surprised and a little disappointed in his take because I would think he, out of all people, would know better about how a winning organization actually comes about to get to winning. And then other players are going to see, oh shit. So if this person was developing and they were doing really good, and this GM or whoever made owner making the decision to say, hey, we're going to get rid of them, that sets a bad precedent. That really creates a nasty taste in the mouths of the locker room, and also people are gonna be thinking like, damn, if this person got shipped off, I might be next. I'm expendable, and you don't really want to have players feeling like they're expendable. You want to have players that when you bring them on the team, you're committed to them just as much as they committed to playing for you guys. It goes both ways. It's never one or the other, right? So, long story short, people want to say, well, Michael Parsons is better than Nolan Smith, which I don't think you can really have that conversation because Nolan Smith just started. We don't even really know his ceiling. We know he's developed into a very damn good player, but we don't even know his ceiling yet to be able to compare him to say, he's not better than Michael Parsons or he never will be. We don't fucking know. That's not even really a fair conversation to have. There's no real argument you can make based on facts that say that Michael Parsons, I mean, obviously right now we're going to say that, but again, Michael Parsons has years of experience. So either way, that was a horrible take, and I don't. And honestly, he's not even the only. I've seen a lot of Eagles fans talking about they will trade Nolan Smith for Michael Parsons in a heartbeat, and it just goes to show you how much they really know, football in general, just the idea of organized sports. You got your guys who are going to be the stars, but you're also going to have your hustle players, right? And those hustle players are just as important, maybe more important, honestly, than the quote unquote stars, because you need guys that are going to be relentless. You need those hustlers. You need those guys that's going to get to the ball and put their body on the line no matter what for the team. Who's willing to sacrifice? You don't have players that's willing to sacrifice. You're not winning shit, and that's all I got to say. I'm out.